How is it going, everybody? This is Sean Barnes. I want to welcome you to episode 19 of The Way of the Wolf. On the show today, I'm going to be talking about the need for us to redefine what success means. I think for me, I've seen so many people throughout my life and my career that define success by the amount of money in your bank account or the number of cars in your driveway. And I think that's a flawed mindset. Growing up in kind of a lower middle class realm, I think a lot of us that found ourselves in that situation would strive to reach a certain point in our career, and that, we'll say, pinnacle was earning $100,000 a year. Nice round number. And growing up, for me, I thought that's what success meant. Once I hit that number, I would be successful. And I've had a number of people on the show over the past few weeks and months that have made comments around this topic, basically stating that that's a flawed mindset. Chris Tarver, Scott Wells, Henry Walker, a number of people all agree, and I consider all of these individuals to be quite successful, actually very successful. And yes, they make different amounts of money. I'm sure they live comfortably, but one common theme that I have seen whenever I interact with all these gentlemen is pure happiness. Now, that's not to say that they don't have challenges, but they live a very fulfilling life and a very successful life. I think that true wealth means living a happy, healthy life and doing what you love. Once you realize this and start putting your efforts and focus into following your passion and doing what you love, you find yourself in a position where you're leading a very fulfilling life. And yes, I will say that, making a lot of money is nice and fun, and it can buy nice things which give you temporary happiness. But to find lasting happiness following your passion is, I think, something that all of us should strive for. If you go back and listen to episode 7, I believe it was, of the podcast, I spoke about finding your purpose. And the way we do that is by trying new things. As we grow up through into our 20s, we're trying to figure out what we want out of life. What is the meaning? Why are we here? What do we want to accomplish in life? And through your 20s and 30s, you start to kind of settle in on, okay, this is good, this is comfortable, I like it. But what I've found is it's very easy to kind of find yourself in a little bubble. And once you get comfortable in that bubble, it is very difficult to expand out of that. So when we think about finding your purpose, I'm supremely confident that not many people are fortunate enough to find their purpose in their 20s. If you are, that's incredible. That's fantastic. But if you're transitioning into your late 20s, early to mid 30s, and you're still struggling with the 9 to 5, corporate America, sitting in traffic for an hour each way to go work for a boss that you don't like, and dreading Monday morning, waking up and thinking, God, this is miserable. I think it's incumbent upon all of us to make a change. That change is not always going to be easy. Even if you are following your passion, that may mean you're going to have to do something where you make less money. You may have to give up a few things that you have grown accustomed to having over the years. But I am supremely confident that when you do, and you land on your feet and end up following your passion, it is the right decision for you long term. There are a lot of people that I coach these days that are very frustrated with the company that they work for or their boss and things like that. And, my guidance to them is to follow your passion. You may have to do things on the side. You may have to invest in yourself and learning a new skill set, or learning how to become a better leader, or understanding data analytics, whatever that may be. Find out what your passion is and start chasing that dream. I'm flashing back to a story with having Henry on the show. He worked in oil and gas, made pretty decent living, and then unfortunately during a downturn, he was let go and decided to go ahead and start a gym. And he hit rock bottom, I would say. I think I even titled the podcast that. And whenever I look at where he's at and what he has built over the past 5 years with his gym, the dude is always in a good mood. He is always happy because he's following his passion. And so, yes, you may struggle, you may fall on hard times, but finding your purpose and following your passion will ultimately lead to a more happy and fulfilling life. One thing I do want to touch on is the importance of not finding happiness in other people. It is crucial that you learn to find your happiness from within, and that comes from following your passion. If you depend on others for your happiness, if you find yourself struggling, like you have to be spending time with other people, and when you're alone with your own thoughts, you're struggling or down in the dumps or just struggling in general, to me, that speaks to the importance of being able to find something that ignites that fire within you and start chasing that dream. So it's really the intent of the messaging today is we have to redefine what success means. Success does not mean working a 9 to 5, sitting an hour each way in traffic and hating your job. You can find happiness, but you're going to have to take the hits. It's not always going to be easy, but you absolutely can find happiness. And I will say, for those of you that are happy in your 9 to 5, that's fantastic. That is amazing. And this message probably isn't really meant for you. But if you are struggling with your boss, your company, take action. Do something about it. Maybe go find another job while you go to night classes and then focus on your long-term dream. But don't just sit and be miserable just because you're making a certain dollar amount. So I want to transition a little bit over to a question that has come up in a few of my coaching calls in recent months. I'm going to go ahead and just cite one of the questions, but they're all very similar in nature. I feel like I've stalled out and can't progress any further in my career. Should I go back to college or should I go back to school to get a college degree or an advanced degree, an MBA, something like that? My answer and guidance to these people that I'm coaching that ask me this question, First and foremost, if that's what you want to do, go do it. But having a degree will not guarantee success. I had a gentleman named Dustin on the show a few weeks back that actually talked through stories of the multiple degrees that he ended up getting and pursuing, basically saying, and he shared this a few times in his stories, that he thought, okay, well, if I get a degree, that will solve my problems. What he came to realize is that it didn't solve his problems. Some of the most successful people I know don't have college degrees. This is a little bit of a controversial topic that at some point I may do a quick YouTube video on to talk through, but controversial in that it seems there's a divide. People who have MBAs, going to speak in generalities, are very proud of their MBAs and usually, not always, usually are quite arrogant and think they are better than other people that don't have an MBA. I personally don't have an MBA. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I have a few associate's degrees in technical fields, which made sense for me because technology was a passion of mine. And throughout my career, I have worked for and with, and actually had a number of people that work for me that have master's degrees and MBAs. And I can comfortably say the people that don't have degrees impress me much more than those that do. From what I've observed, it seems that people with MBAs tend to talk more about their MBA than actually executing and getting things done. You know, Elon Musk says that a degree can be an indicator that someone is capable of great things, but it's absolutely not a requirement. That hits home with me. And I feel like I have been successful in my life, and not just financially, but successful in having the opportunity to do what I love and do what I'm passionate about. And it didn't require a degree. So my guidance, again, comes back to following your passion. Find your purpose and learn everything you can. I mean, knowledge is free. You can watch videos on YouTube. You can read books online. You go to web forums. You can learn anything you want to almost for free, quite frankly. Now, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor, probably going to have to pursue that degree. But, and I'm sure there's other fields that absolutely require it. But quite frankly, I don't think it matters. For those of you out there that don't have a degree at all, or maybe you have an associate's, but you don't have a bachelor's degree, if that's what you really want, go do it. But don't think that that is going to solve all of your problems. You will solve your problems by following your passion and doing what makes you happy. That's all I got for the show today. If you liked the show, please like and subscribe and share with others, friends and family. I truly appreciate all of you listening and all of your support. Thank you so much. If any of you have any questions or thoughts or would like for me to answer any questions on the show, please reach out to me at Sean@thewayofthewolf.com, and y'all have a good one.